Before we begin, take a moment to get comfortable. Let your arms go heavy, your breath slow. And as you listen, feel free to leave a comment sharing what time it is, where you are, and what city or village you're listening from. It's love to know. And if you'd like more quiet stories like this one, don't forget to subscribe so they gently appear when you need them most. Now, let's begin. Beneath what our eyes can see, beneath the scale of skin, of hair, of dust, there lies another world. It is not silent, yet its voice is too soft for us to hear. It is not empty, yet it appears so to the naked eye. This is the quantum world, the world of the smallest things, a hidden layer of reality that unfolds everywhere, all the time, without pause. Here, particles drift like whispers, nay, are smaller than sight, lighter than breath, elusive as mist. They do not move as pebbles do, nor as planets circle their suns. They shimmer in probabilities, they're being smeared across possibilities. Like starlight spread into haze, the smallest world is restless, yet strangely calm. Every particle vibrates, every field hums. And yet, the dance feels patient and eternal, unfolding that asks no rush. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Smaller than sight to consider the scale of things. A grain of sand seems small in the hand, yet, within it, like countless atoms, each one a structure of emptiness and energy. Inside the atom are protons, neutrons, electrons, particles bound, particles moving, particles that are themselves made of deeper things. How small is the smallest? We do not yet know. Every discovery seems to open another door. But even at the scales we can measure, we find strangeness. Electrons are not tiny marbles. They are clouds of probability. Protons are not indivisible. They are woven from quarks, and quarks themselves are bound by invisible threads of energy. Each step smaller reveals a world stranger, a world quieter, a world harder to see. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The foundation of all though invisible, these smallest things are the foundation of everything. Every breath, every stone, every river and star is built upon their silent rhythm. It is strange to think that the solidity of a mountain is born of emptiness within atoms, that the warmth of sunlight is carried by massless photons streaming from the sun's heart, that the beating of a heart depends on electrons flowing, on ions shifting across membranes, all obeying quantum rules. The quantum is not separate. It is the fabric from which the visible is woven. It is the thread running through all things. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. A calm chaos at first glance. The smallest world seems chaotic. Particles appear and vanish. Paths blur. Outcomes seem uncertain. Yet, beneath this chaos lies balance. Probabilities guide the dance. Laws unseen keep order. Every random spark, every flicker of appearance is part of a greater rhythm. The quantum world is both restless and calm, both shifting and steady. It is a paradox, yet also a harmony. The smallest scales hum like a choir, each particle a note, each interaction a chord. Together, they build the quiet music of existence. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The beginning that never ends. The quantum world feels like a beginning. It is where the universe constructs itself, moment by moment. Particles arise, combine, vanish. Forces bind, fields fluctuate, patterns emerge. It is as though creation is not past, not long ago, but constant. The beginning is everywhere, always, repeating. The universe is born again and again in every flicker of the smallest scales. And so the night leans closer, as if listening to the whispers of creation still unfolding in silence. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens toward the dual nature in this smallest world. we must prepare to release expectations. Here, matter is not as it seems. Here, light is both ripple and particle. Here, electrons blur between wave and point. Here, truth folds into dualities, into both and, into yes and no. To step further in, we must learn to see, not in single forms, but in layered possibilities. We must listen to the ocean of the quantum and hear it both as wave and as spark. From the quiet beginning of the smallest world, we move gently now toward this strangeness. Waves that behave like particles, particles that behave like waves, a dual nature that hums beneath everything we know. Asterisk, the smallest world has opened. Particles whisper, fields hum. Creation repeats itself at scales too small for the eye, subtle for the hand. And now we encounter one of its strangest truths, that light is both wave and particle. That reality is not single, but doubled. That what we thought was fixed is, instead, a dance. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Light as ripple for centuries. Light was thought of as a wave. It bends, it spreads, it interferes like ripples in water. Shine light through two narrow slits, and it creates a pattern of bright and dark bands, interference, as if waves were overlapping. This is not illusion. Light truly ripples, moving, outward in crests and troughs, an ocean stretched across the air. Its rhythm paints the colors of the rainbow. Its frequencies hum through all that we see. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Light is sparkened, yet light is also a particle. A single photon, a spark, can strike a sensor, knock loose an electron, trigger a chemical reaction in an eye. It arrives not as spread out water, but as a pinpoint, a discrete messenger of energy. Einstein showed us this in the photoelectric effect, light striking metal, freeing electrons. Not a continuous wave, but a stream of quanta. Each photon carries energy, small but precise. The wave becomes a spark. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The dual nature here lies the paradox. Light is both. It ripples, yet it strikes. It spreads, yet it lands. It is both particle and wave, not switching between, but existing as both at once. This is the dual nature of reality. Not either or, but both and. It is strange, yet also beautiful. The cosmos, at its smallest, is not rigid, but layered, holds multiple truths at once. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Matter joins the dance. What is stranger still is that this duality is not limited to light. Electrons, the very particles that form matter, behave the same. Send them through slits, and they too form interference patterns as if they were waves. Yet, when measured, they land as single points, discrete, individual. Matter itself, the substance of the world, is also both. Your hand, your breath, your very being is built from particles that move as waves. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The ocean of the quantum and, so we see the quantum world as an ocean, never still. Particles drift like waves, yet arrive as sparks. The ocean does not choose, it is both at once. This duality hums everywhere, woven into every atom, every ray of light. Every glance of the stars above, it whispers to us that reality is richer than we imagine. It is not limited to single form. It is layered, entwined, a quiet dance between wave and point. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The beauty of the dance, there is beauty in this strangeness. We may expect simplicity, clarity, certainty. Instead, the universe gives us paradox. It gives us a reality that is both rippling and discrete, both soft and sharp, both continuous and broken into quanta. This dance of opposites is not mistake, not illusion. It is the way of things. And from it comes color, warmth, motion, life. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens toward uncertainty. Yet this dual nature is only the beginning of strangeness. For if light and matter are both wave and particle, then certainty itself dissolves. To know one thing is to lose another. To fix a position is to blur the motion. It's the principle that guides the next step. From waves that behave like particles, we move now toward uncertainty itself, the blur that is not error, but law, the quiet balance that holds everything in place. Asterisk, the dual nature has unfolded. Light is wave, light is particle. Electrons themselves, the substance of matter, follow the same paradox. The quantum world is not singular, but layered, a reality of both and now. As we lean closer, we find something stranger still. Not only do particles blur between forms, but the very act of measuring them dissolves precision. This is uncertainty. Not an error, not a flaw, but a law of nature itself. The night is quiet, the silence deepens. A soft blurring, a stale blare. A stone rests here. A bird flies there. A bird flies there. A planet circles its star in a traceable arc. We assume precision is possible, that with enough care we could know every detail, but at the quantum scale, the world is softer. The lines are blurred. Particle's position and its momentum cannot both be pinned down. 2. No one is to let go of the other. This is not clumsiness in our tools. It is not mistake. It is the rule of the world itself. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The Heisenberg principle, Werner Heisenberg, gave words to this law, the uncertainty principle, it is called. To measure with perfect precision where something is makes its velocity dissolve into haze. To measure exactly how it moves makes its location spread like mist. It is as though nature hides one truth when it reveals another, not to confuse us, not to withhold, but to preserve balance. The particle is not a point to be cornered, a queege. It is a presence in probability, a queege. It resists being captured in absolutes. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Balance in the blur uncertainty is not weakness, it is balance. If every particle could be known with infinite precision, the universe would be rigid, mechanical, locked, would be no room for movement, no breathing of possibility. Instead, uncertainty allows motion, it allows creativity, change, life. The blur is the canvas on which reality paints itself. It's a softness, a permission, a necessary veil. The night is quiet, okay? And the silence deepens that a universe that breathes. Think of breath, in and out, never fixed in one state, always shifting, okay? Uncertainty is like this, an inhale and exhale of possibility. The particle is here, but also moving. The motion is clear, but the position is soft. Okay. Reality lives in between, in the space, where precision is impossible, and so the universe breathes. It hums with probability. It whispers in chance. It is not broken. It is alive. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The comfort of limits at first. Uncertainty may seem unsettling. We wish for certainty, for exactness, for control. But in time, the comfort reveals itself. The universe does not demand perfection. It moves within limits, but never fixes itself in absolutes. This freedom allows rivers to flow, clouds to drift, stars to burn, and life to emerge. Without uncertainty, the cosmos would be a machine. With it, the cosmos becomes a living rhythm. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Toward the field and so uncertainty guides us forward. The quantum world is not sharp, but soft, not rigid, but balanced. Particles hum with probability, fields shimmer with energy, and even emptiness is never still. From uncertainty, we move now toward this greater truth, that space itself is alive, that the vacuum hums with restless energy, that the quantum field never truly sleeps. Asterisk uncertainty has shown its face. The smallest world refuses to be pinned down. Particles blur in position and motion, never surrendering to exactness. And so we begin to see the quantum universe as softer than stone, as fluid as breath. But another strangeness waits if uncertainty blurs the picture. Then the canvas itself, the emptiness in which all unfolds, is never still. Even in vacuum, even in darkness, there is motion. The quantum field never sleeps. The night is quiet and the silence deepens. Emptiness, that is, not empty at larger scales. Emptiness seems simple. A room without furniture, a sky between stars, a space between planets. We imagine it as absence, as nothingness, but at quantum scales, emptiness is alive. It is filled with fluctuations, with whispers of energy that never end. Particles flicker into existence, then vanish again, like sparks in mist. This is the quantum vacuum, not empty, but restless. The night is quiet, the silence deepens, flickers of being. Imagine a sea at night, dark and calm at first glance. Yet, beneath the surface, currents stir, waves shift, life moves unseen. So it is with the vacuum. It appears still, but it flickers constantly. Virtual particles arise, always in pairs. A particle and its twin. They live for moments, then cancel one another. It is not chaos, but balance. Not permanence, but pulse. The vacuum hums, not with silence, but with quiet creation. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The field, as canvas what then is, reality built upon, not nothingness, but a field. It's a vast, unbroken field that stretches everywhere. Particles are not separate from it. They are excitations, ripples, temporary notes played upon its surface. The field is the canvas, the particle, a fleeting stroke. The field is the ocean, the particle, its wave. To speak of matter, to speak of energy, his to speak of the field and its restless hum. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens everywhere, always. This field is everywhere, between galaxies, inside atoms, within the silence of space. It stretches, without border, without edge. It is not broken. It does not stop. Everywhere is touched by its presence. Even you, even this moment, rests within it. The air, the ground, the body itself, all are patterns in the field. The field does not sleep, and so nothing is ever truly empty. The night is quiet, the silence deepens. The sea of potential physicists sometimes call this the sea of potential, for within it lies the possibility of everything. Every particle, every atom, every star emerges from its depth. It is the hidden ocean from which reality drinks, not chaotic, but patient, not loud, but eternal. The vacuum is not absence, but the beginning of presence. It is silence, but silence that hums. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens toward superpositioning, so we see that nothing is truly still, not matter, not emptiness, not even silence. The quantum field hums without end, a foundation of motion beneath all things, and upon this restless field, particles do not rest in one place, but in many possibilities at once. This is the next strangeness, the next layer of quiet mystery, superposition, the patience of many paths, the waiting of possibilities before choice, from the field that never sleeps. We move now into this truth, the quiet of many possibilities, the hush of outcomes not yet collapsed. Asterisk, the field hums without pause. Even emptiness is alive with flickers. Virtual particles appear, then vanish, like whispers in still air. The canvas is never blank. It vibrates with possibility. And upon this canvas, ponds of quantum mechanics reveal another strangeness, that particles may rest in many states at once. They do not choose immediately. They wait, layering possibilities together. Superposition, the quiet patience of the quantum world. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Many states at once at human scale. Objects rest in one place. A book lies on the table. A candle flickers in the window. The moon circles Earth in its path. All feel certain. All feel singular. But at the quantum scale, certainty dissolves. A particle does not choose one state. It may be here and there and in between. It is not indecision. It is nature itself, a soft holding of many truths together. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The music of a chord, think of music. A single note is simple, pure, clear, clear. But a chord holds many notes at once. It is layered, rich, filled with harmony. Superposition is like this. A particle is not one note, but many together. It rests in chords of possibility until touched. It holds the music of many outcomes. It is potential, unresolved, a quiet harmony waiting to be heard. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Waiting without choosing superposition is patience. The world, at its smallest, does not rush. It holds possibilities in balance, waiting for an interaction, for an observation, for a moment when paths collapse. Until then, all outcomes linger. The particle is here and there, spinning this way and that, moving and still, all at once. The universe waits with it, resting in unchosen futures. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The whisper of many paths. Imagine a traveler at a fork in the road. To us, they must choose left or right. But in the quantum world, they take both. They walk left, they walk right. They walk paths unseen. All possibilities coexist. All remain alive. The particle is the traveler, but it does not hurry. It drifts softly, a whisper of many paths at once. It is not bound by decision, but by patience. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Stars, not yet born possibilities, are like unborn stars. They linger in silence, waiting for collapse, waiting for light. Superposition is the cradle of futures, the nursery of outcomes. What will be is not yet chosen. What may be is still held. The particle rests in this quiet, a seed containing countless branches. Only when touched does one branch bloom into reality. The night is quiet. Cana, toward, collapse. Toward, collapse. Superposition cannot last forever. Observation changes everything. When the particle is measured, when interaction occurs, the many become one. The wave of possibility collapses into a single outcome from the quiet of many possibilities. We move now toward the next mystery, collapse of the wave, the gentle closing of futures into one present moment. Asterisk possibility has lingered. Particles have rested in chords, many paths layered upon each other. Superposition held futures quietly, like stars unborn, like notes unplayed. Quantum world was patient, unrushed, allowing all outcomes to hum together. But patience does not last forever. When the world touches, when observation arrives, when interaction cannot be avoided, the many must fold into one. This is the collapse of the wave. The quiet narrowing of futures into a single present. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens from many to one in superposition. A particle drifts across possibilities. It spins up and down, moves left and right, rests here and there, all at once. But the act of measuring draws a line. It chooses softly, gently, without noise. The wave function collapses. The probabilities dissolve. One outcome becomes real. The others fade into silence. The dream condenses into waking. The haze resolves into form. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens like dreams at dawn. Imagine dreaming in the night. The dream is many-layered, filled with shifting places. People both familiar and strange, moments that contradict yet coexist. And then dawn arrives. The dream does not crash, simply dissolves. It folds into memory, leaving a single thread. Behind, so too with quantum collapse. The many paths of superposition fade softly, leaving one behind. Reality does not shout. It whispers its choice. And the rest dissolve, as dreams do, into quiet. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The gentle act of seeing what is observation. It is not always human sight. It is interaction itself. A photon striking, an atom colliding, a measurement taken. Okay? Any contact forces the choice to see is to disturb. To measure is to change. Okay? Not by violence, but by inevitability. The wave collapses, and one outcome unfolds. It is as if the universe waits for touch before deciding its path. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The silence of lost futures. What are the paths not chosen? What are the futures not taken? They do not persist, at least not in the same way. They fade into silence, fleetly, only as echoes in the mathematics, as memory in the probabilities. This is the poignancy of collapse. It is gentle, yet final. It brings one reality forward, and lets the others rest unseen. It is not cruelty. It is the way of things. The universe must choose, moment by moment, thread by thread. The night is quiet, okay, and the silence deepens. Collapse, as rhythm collapse, is not rare. It is constant. Every particle measured, every interaction observed, every photon absorbed, all are collapses. The world is a tapestry woven of choices. Each moment collapses into the next. Each outcome folds gently into being. Reality is not static. It is this rhythm, this quiet sequence of possibilities, narrowing into presence. Collapse is the heartbeat of existence. It is how the universe moves forward in silence. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens toward connection, but collapse is not the only wonder. Particles may do more than simply wait in possibilities. They may bond, join, entangle. And when they do, their collapse is no longer solitary. Two particles can become one system, no matter the distance, from the collapse of the wave. We move now toward this deeper mystery, entanglement across the dark. A thread between particles that distance cannot sever. A connection that holds in. Silence. Asterisk collapse has narrowed possibilities. But the wave has chosen, gently folding many outcomes into one present form. Reality has declared itself, not loudly, but softly. The universe has whispered, and the haze of futures has cleared, but not. Every particle collapses alone, sometimes to become linked. They entangle a bond invisible, a connection beyond measure, and once joined, they never let go. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The thread between entanglement is not ordinary closeness. It is not particles side by side, not atoms locked in structure. It is deeper, stranger to particles, perhaps created together, perhaps touched once in their history, remain bound. They share a state. They share a description. They share more than space. They share being no matter how far they drift. The thread remains across laboratories, across continents, even across galaxies. The bond holds, the night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Beyond distance touch, one particle, and the other responds. Measure one, and the other is set. The effect is instant, faster than light, though no signal is sent. It is not communication, but correlation. It is as if the two are no longer two, but one system stretched across the distance. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. He doubted its truth, yet experiment after experiment has confirmed it. Entanglement is real. The universe is stranger than doubt. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The whisper of togetherness. What does it mean, this bond that defies distance? Perhaps it whispers that separateness is illusion. The universe, though vast, is woven as one fabric. Tangled particles are threads pulled from the same cloth. No matter how far apart, they belong to the same weaved out togetherness, even in distance, unity, even in silence. The quantum world hums with this truth. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Experiments in the dark physicists have tested entanglement. Pairs of photons created together are sent apart. One is measured here, the other far away. Every time, the results mirror one another. The bond cannot be broken, not by distance, not by isolation. It is as though the two do not answer separately, but together. The thread holds, silent, invisible, unbreakable. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The unity of the cosmos entanglement feels like a message. It reminds us that the cosmos is not fragments, not islands drifting apart, but a single whole. Particles echo one another across the void, because the void is not truly empty. It is one fabric, one field, one endless connection. We too are part of this weave, not apart, but within. Not separate, but joined. The smallest truths whisper the greatest lessons. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Toward order, yet entanglement is not chaos. It is not random. It is precise, predictable, structured. Quantum strangeness may seem disorderly, but hidden within it lies law, pattern, rhythm. From entanglement across the dark, we move now toward the next wonder, the hidden order in randomness, the quiet symmetry that emerges when chance gathers in crowds. Asterisk, entanglement has shown this thread, a unity stretched across space, a connection deeper than distance. It whispered that the universe is not separate, but one. And now we step deeper into paradox, for at the quantum scale, so much seems random. Particles flicker into being, then vanish. Electrons appear here, then there. Photons scatter unpredictably. The smallest world seems ruled by chance, and yet, hidden beneath this disorder, a pattern hums. From randomness, order arises. From countless chaotic sparks, a rhythm appears. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Sparks in the dark imagine, a dark field at night. Here and there, fireflies blink, each one unpredictable. You cannot know where the next will flash. Watch long enough, and you notice rhythm. Crowd of lights creates patterns of timing, of clustering, of harmony. So it is with quantum randomness. One particle is unpredictable. We love, create rules, laws, predictable averages that hold steady across time. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Random, yet predictable in the laboratory. Physicists send particles through barriers, scatter them across screens. Each one lands unpredictably, a point here, a point there. But gather thousands, and a pattern emerges. A curve appears, the shape unfolds. The individual is random, the collective is law. This is the paradox of the quantum world. Chance builds certainty. Randomness becomes order. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The comfort of averages. First, this may seem strange. How can order be born of chaos? Yet, it is the way of the world. Flip a coin once, and the result is uncertain. Flip it 1,000 times, and the pattern is steady. Half heads, half tails, within a narrow margin. So too with particles. The universe allows chance at the smallest level, but steadiness at the largest. The law emerges, not from the single, but from the many. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Randomness as foundation. Without randomness, life itself might falter. Mutations, variation, adaptation, all are born of chance. The shimmer of unpredictability is the engine of creativity. Its order arises, not despite randomness, but because of it. Its chaos becomes the seed of pattern. The quantum world, restless and uncertain, lays the foundation for stars, for rivers, for minds. It is the quiet law that chance, repeated endlessly, comes rhythm. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The harmony of disorder and so we find that even disorder hums with law. It is not aimless, not waste. It is possibility woven into fabric. It is the hidden harmony of chance. The smallest sparks, though random, together form constellations. This truth softens our gaze. The chaos is not frightening. It is beautiful. It is the quiet music of probability repeating softly through the dark. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Toward the impossible yet, the quantum does more than flicker randomly. Sometimes it defies barriers. Sometimes it slips through walls that should be impenetrable. Passing through impossibility as if the rules were softer than stone. From the hidden order in randomness, we move now toward this next wonder. The tunneling through barriers, the quiet defiance of limits, the reminder that even walls are not absolute. Asterisk randomness has shown its hidden order. Fireflies of the quantum world blink in unpredictability, yet together form constellations of law. Chance becomes rhythm. Disorder hums with the pattern, and yet the smallest world reveals something stranger still. Particles sometimes cross barriers that, by all logic, should confine them. Walls that seem absolute become permeable. Rules that seem final soften into permission. Says tunneling, the quantum slipping through impossibility. The night is quiet and the silence deepens. The wall. That is not absolute. Our world of stone and steel. A wall is final. A hand presses against it and it stops. A ball thrown at it and it rebounds. Boundaries feel firm. UNCHANGEABLE. But in the quantum world, walls are softer. A barrier that should contain may still be crossed. Particles do not need to climb over. They blur, they pass, they emerge on the other side as though the obstacle were only missed. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The gentle permission. This is not rebellion. It is not disobedience. It is permission granted by the mathematics of the small. In quantum law, a particle has a chance, small, delicate, but real, to be found where it should not be. It is as though probability itself leaves a door slightly ajar. Most of the time, the particle remains contained, but sometimes, quietly, softly, it tunnels through. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Matter, more fluid than stone tunneling, reminds us that matter is more fluid than it appears. A stone feels solid, yet its atoms hum, its particles blur. The walls we imagine absolute are, at the smallest scales, more like curtains. They stop most, but not all. They resist, but never perfectly. The universe at its foundation is softer than the surfaces we see. It breathes, it allows, it surprises. The night is quiet. The silence deepens. Life built on tunneling this softness is not rare. It shapes the world. Stars themselves rely on tunneling. In their cores, atoms fuse, hydrogen becoming helium, fueling light. Yet, without tunneling, those atoms could not join. The repulsion is too strong. Classical rules would forbid it, but quantum tunneling opens a path. Protons slip through their barriers. Fusion ignites. The sun shines. Life warms. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. A reminder that nothing is fixed. Tunneling is more than a curiosity. It is a reminder that nothing is absolute, that even walls are not final. That possibility remains, even where certainty seems complete. The barriers we see are softer than we imagine. The rules we trust carry flexibility. The universe itself is patient, permissive, allowing the improbable to sometimes unfold. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Towards beneath particles are more than wanderers of barriers. They carry intrinsic qualities, invisible but essential. They spin, though not as tops do. They orient themselves in ways unseen, aligning and opposing, building the subtle architecture of matter. From tunneling through barriers, we move now toward the spin of the invisible, the hidden turn that shapes the smallest world. Asterisk tunneling has shown us the softness of rules. Barriers that seemed final proved permeable. Walls that felt absolute turned out to be curtains of probability. The smallest world is fluid, more forgiving than stone suggests. And now we meet another mystery. Particles carry a property that is not size, not weight, not position. It is called spin. But it is not spinning as a top does, nor turning as planets turn. It is invisible rotation, a hidden orientation in dimensions we cannot see. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The misleading word, the word spin, invites images of motion. A coin whirling on a table, a child's toy circling, a planet revolving in space. But particle spin is different. Physics, a property built into the particle itself. IT does not require surface. It does not require turning. IT is a fundamental quality, quiet, yet decisive. The night is quiet, okay? And the silence deepens to orientation without surface. Think of direction. An arrow may point left or right, up or down. It has orientation, yet no need to spin. Particle spin is like this, a built-in orientation that determines how it interacts, how it aligns, how it combines. It is invisible, yet essential. It guides the behavior of matter, the magnetism of atoms, the stability of stars. Stability is the compass of the smallest world. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Alignment and opposition spin does more than orient. It aligns or opposes. Electrons and atoms, for instance, pair only when their spins oppose each other. This rule builds chemistry, shapes the periodic table, gives order to matter itself. Without this alignment, the world of atoms would collapse into disorder. With its structure emerges. Spin is the quiet architect, invisible yet indispensable. The night is quiet, okay? And the silence deepens. Spin, as identity particles, are defined by their spin. Electrons, protons, neutrons, all carry half-integer spin. They are called fermions, builders of matter. Photons and other quanta of force carry integer spin. They are bosons, carriers of interaction. This distinction is profound. It explains why matter is solid, why forces stretch across space, why the universe separates into substance and connection. Spin divides and defines. At's identity written. In silence, the night is quiet. The silence deepens. Spin in the cosmos spin does not rest at the level of particles alone. It echoes upward. The spin of particles shapes the spin of atoms, okay? The spin of atoms shapes the spin of stars, and stars, in their collapse, create black holes that themselves spin, immense whirlpools in the fabric of space, from the smallest quanta to the largest giants. Spin is everywhere. The universe itself keeps turning in silence. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Toward the latter spin is a reminder that properties unseen shape the world profoundly. Not all that matters can be touched. Not all that guides can be measured in surface, orientation, alignment, identity, all rest in invisible qualities. And now we move toward another such quality, the discreteness of energy. For in atoms, energy does not flow continuously, but in steps, in rungs, in a quantum ladder that builds the structure of the world. From spin, turn gently now toward the ladder of energy, the quiet staircase of the atom. Asterisk spin has shown us that particles hold identity, an invisible orientation that guides how they align, how they bind, how they construct the world. The unseen compass of spin shapes matter's architecture and even echoes in the turning of stars. Now we descend into another mystery. Energy in the quantum world does not flow like water nor move like smooth wind. It comes in steps, in rungs, in discrete packets. Atoms hold energy like a ladder, and their electrons climb not gradually, but by leaps. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Steps in the invisibilite human scale. We expect continuity. A ball rolls smoothly. A dimmer light glows brighter. Not in jumps, but in steady increase. We are used to gradients, to flows without break, but at the quantum level, continuity falters. Electrons bound within atoms do not slide. They leap. They vanish from one rung and appear on another. The space between is forbidden, a silence no particle may linger in. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The birth of quanta, this is truth, startled scientists. Max Planck, seeking to explain light and heat, discovered that energy is quantized, comes in packets, not in streams. Each packet, each quantum, is indivisible, like a single step. Einstein extended the truth. Light itself, he said, was quantized, a stream of photons, each carrying discrete energy. The latter was not only within atoms, but within light itself. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The jumps that build light when an electron leaps from a higher rung to a lower one. Energy is released. That energy is light. The color of the light, red, blue, violet, is determined by the size of the leap. Small steps release gentle hues. Large steps shine in higher frequencies. Every color we see, every glow of fire, every star in the night, is born of these leaps. Electrons falling, releasing photons, illuminating the dark. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The silence between what is most striking is the forbidden space. An electron does not pass through the rungs between. It is here, then there, without crossing the middle. The leap is sudden, invisible. The steps are separated by silence. It is as if nature builds, not slopes, but stairs. In reality, climbs them one leap at a time. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The architecture of chemistry, these rungs shape chemistry itself. The arrangement of electrons, their positions on the ladder, determine how atoms bond, how molecules form, how matter lives. Water, air, stone, and skin all depend on the quantum staircase. Without the ladder, the elements would not differ. Hydrogen, carbon, oxygen, all owe their uniqueness to the way electrons settle on rungs. The world's diversity is written on the staircase of energy. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The endless climb, the ladder stretches endlessly. Electrons may climb higher and higher, absorbing energy, reaching new rungs, tides and flames in the glow of lightning. This climb never ends. Energy flows into atoms, and electrons leap again. Matter itself is built on this eternal rhythm. Absorb, leap upward, release, fall downward. The climb and descent is the heartbeat of atoms. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Toward the atoms, haze, the ladder of energy, teaches us that atoms are not rigid spheres, but structures of possibility. Electrons hover in regions, clouds of probability around the nucleus. Their steps define the boundaries, but their presence is haze. From the quantum ladder of energy, we move now toward this haze itself, the hidden life of atoms, not solid, but clouds of probability holding the universe together in silence. Asterisk, the ladder of energy has shown us that atoms are not smooth, continuous machines, but staircases of possibility. Electrons leap between rungs, absorbing and releasing light, painting the cosmos with color. And now we pause to look more closely at the atom itself. For the atom, once thought to be indivisible, once pictured as a miniature solar system with electrons circling like planets, is not solid. It is haze, probability, a quiet cloud. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens from hard sphere to haze in ancient thought. Atoms were imagined as tiny, solid beads, the smallest building blocks of matter. Later, scientists pictured them as central nuclei with electrons orbiting around like planets around a star. But experiments revealed something softer. Electrons are not little marbles racing in neat circles. They do not trace predictable orbits. Instead, they exist as clouds of probability, regions where they are likely to be found, but never with certainty. The atom is not solid. It is mist, blur, a haze of being. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Emptiness at the core, what we call matter, is mostly empty. If an atom were the size of a cathedral, its nucleus would be a grain of sand resting at the center. The rest, the vast space of the cathedral, would be emptiness, lightly filled with the probability clouds of electrons. The solidity we feel, the firmness of a chair, the weight of stone, the strength of steel, is not solid matter pressing on matter. It is the quiet repulsion of electron clouds, forces that resist overlap, illusions of solidity arising from emptiness. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The quiet dance of electrons within this haze. Electrons drift in patterns, their presence defined by energy, by the rungs of the quantum ladder. Some regions glow with high probability, others remain dim with low. The dance is quiet, never chaotic, always guided by rules of balance. It is this silent choreography that allows chemistry to exist, that allows bonds to form, that allows molecules to weave into water, into air, into life. The atom's haze, though soft, is the loom of reality. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens, soft yet strong, though delicate. Though mostly empty, atoms hold the universe together. They combine into lattice, into chains, into networks of unimaginable strength. Stone, wood, metal, bone, all are woven from atoms clinging through invisible forces. What seems fragile, a haze of probabilities, becomes the strongest foundation. Soft clouds hold mountains. Empty space holds galaxies. The strength of the universe is born of quiet softness. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens illusion. And reality is humbling to know that the solidity we trust is illusion, that beneath touch, beneath sight, matter is not firm, but hollow, that the chair beneath us, the earth underfoot, the body itself, are built from absence, shaped into presence. And yet, in this paradox, there is comfort. The illusion is reliable. The haze is steadfast. The emptiness holds its form. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens toward the photon within atoms. As electrons leap their ladders, light itself is born. Photons, tiny messengers without mass, carry the energy outward, painting stars, warming skin, illuminating night. From the hidden life of atoms, we move now toward these messengers, the quiet fire of quantum light, the photons that whisper the universe into visibility. Asterisk, the atom has revealed its secret. Not solid, but haze. Not rigid, but soft. And in the leaping of its electrons, a gift is released. Light. Every color we see, every warmth we feel, every shimmer in the cosmos is born of these leaps. Photons emerge, small packets of energy, cute messengers that carry the story of the universe through the dark. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Messengers without mass photons are strange travelers. They have no mass, yet they carry energy. They have no rest, for they always move at light speed. They are never still. From the heart of a star to the curve of an eye, they race tirelessly, silent but steady. They are not particles alone, nor waves alone. They are both woven together, ripples of light, sparks of energy, folded into one form. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Ripple and sparklight spreads like an ocean wave, filling space with rhythm. Yet it also arrives as spark, a photon striking a sensor, a leaf, a face. The dual nature remains, a paradox of ripple and particle. This duality is not contradiction, but balance. It allows light to carry energy with precision, yet also spread across distance. It is both gentle and exact, both infinite and pinpointed. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens, painting the cosmos. Photons paint the universe. They illuminate galaxies, trace spirals in the dark, carry the glow of stars across billions of years. When they reach us, they bring ancient stories. Some photons in our eyes tonight began their journey before Earth was born. They are time travelers, memory bearers. Every sunrise, every flame, every reflection on water is their quiet work. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Small yet countless say single photon is faint, too faint to light a room, too faint to warm a hand. But countless photons together become brilliance, okay? They form beams, flood landscapes, guide life itself. Photosynthesis in leaves, sight in eyes, energy in skin, all are gifts of photons. They are the quiet fire that sustains existence. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Whisper of the universe, din this way. Light is the universe whispering itself. Every photon is a syllable, a wordless message sent across the dark. Together, they form sentences of galaxies, paragraphs of stars, poems of dawn and dusk. To see, to feel warmth, is to hear this whisper. It is soft, but it is everywhere. The cosmos speaks through the quiet fire of photons. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens toward probability. Yet even photons, though precise in speed, are guided by chance. Their arrival is never certain, their path never fixed. Probability governs their journey. The quantum world does not promise certainty, but balance. From the quiet fire of light, we move now toward probability itself, the strange comfort of knowing that uncertainty is not chaos, but law, not error, but rhythm. Asterisk photons have carried us far. Messengers without mass, ripples and sparks folded together. They whisper the universe across the dark. Yet even these perfect travelers obey a deeper law. Not certainty, but probability. The quantum world speaks not in absolutes, but in chances. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The dissolving of certainty at human scale. We believe in predictability. A stone falls when released. A clock ticks in order. The sun rises, the moon returns. Certainty feels natural. But beneath this surface, in the smallest world, certainty dissolves. Electrons hover in haze. Photons scatter in chance. Every outcome is guided, not by fixed paths, but by probabilities. The night is quiet, and The silence deepens. Weighted chances think of dice. Each roll is uncertain, yet each face carries weight. In countless rolls, patterns emerge, averages, rhythms, laws. So it is with quantum events. The electron may be here or there, its presence guided by chance. The photon may strike or pass through, its behavior shaped by probability. Yet, across great numbers, the pattern is steady, like a tide. The randomness hums, but the rhythm holds. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Order in the blur probability is not chaos. It is structured softer than certainty, but no less real. It allows unpredictability in detail, yet order in whole. Like waves on the shore, each one unique, yet the tide always returns. This soft law is the comfort of the quantum. It allows freedom in the small, stability in the large. It is a blur that still guides. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The comfort of letting go there is peace in this truth. We do not need to know each detail, each step, each spark. The rhythm will hold. Probability will guide. The comfort is not in control, but in acceptance. The universe is not rigid clockwork, but quiet breathing. Its order arises not from fixed certainty, but from endless patterns of chance repeating. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The law of the smallest probability is the law of the smallest scales. It governs atoms, photons, particles, unseen. And from it emerges the stability of stars, the chemistry of life, the warmth of fire. It is strange, yet reassuring, that uncertainty is the foundation of certainty. That chance is the foundation of order. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens toward the everyday end. So probability shapes the cosmos. But its influence is not distant. It is not confined to particles we never see. It builds the world around us, the devices in our hands, the light in our homes, the warmth of our bodies. From the strange comfort of probability, we move now toward its presence in the ordinary. Quantum physics, though hidden, meets the everyday. Probability has given us rhythm. The smallest world, though uncertain in detail, is steady and whole. Randomness fades into law. The blur becomes order. And now we find that this hidden law does not remain in the abstract. It builds the world around us. Quantum physics meets the everyday. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. In every device, consider the light in a room shines because electrons leap, falling between rungs of energy, releasing photons. The bulb's glow is quantum at its heart. Or consider the phone in a hand. Its semiconductors, tiny switches of silicon, rely on tunneling, on probability, on the delicate dance of electrons through barriers. Every message, every image, every call is born of quantum laws. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. In every leaf outside, a leaf gathers sunlight. Tons fall upon it, messengers from the sun. The leaf's molecules catch them, converting light into life. Photosynthesis, the quiet alchemy of green, is quantum at its root. Electrons move in patterns, guided by probability, by the ladder of energy. The warmth of the sun enters the web of life through quantum doors. The night is quiet, the silence deepens, and every breath-heaving warmth, even the comfort of air, is quantum. The collisions of molecules, the vibration of atoms, the radiation of heat, all are quantized. All are shaped by the smallest laws. To breathe is to live inside quantum rhythm. To feel heat is to rest in its quiet fire. The ordinary is rooted in the extraordinary. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The smallest governs the largest, from the circuits of machines to the chemistry of life to the burning of stars themselves. The quantum rules. Fusion in the sun relies on tunneling. Its light and heat spilled across the cosmos, nurturing worlds, painting galaxies. The smallest governs the largest. Particles unseen decide the fate of stars. And the stars, in turn, shape the destinies of planets, of oceans, of beings who gaze upward. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The everyday glows with the unseening, so the world we know is never separate from the small. Every switch, every spark, every glance at color or light is touched by the quantum dot. We do not notice, yet it guides us. We do not see, yet it sustains us. The everyday glows with the unseen. The ordinary hums with the extraordinary dot. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens toward the final mystery yet, even with all this. Quantum physics does not resolve into certainty. Its deepest truths remain open. Its smallest scales remain vast with questions. It leaves us not with answers, but with wonder from the everyday. We move now toward rest. Rest not in final clarity, but in the mystery itself. The quantum world ends where it began, with silence, with questions, with the soft acceptance of the unknown. Asterisk, the everyday world has revealed its secret. Every light bulb, every leaf, every warmth of touch rests upon quantum law. The smallest governs the largest. Particles unseen decide the fates of suns, the blooming of forest, the glimmer of human thought. Yet even here, after all these revelations, the story does not end in clarity. Quantum physics, though powerful, does not resolve into certainty. Its foundation remains a bed of questions, an ocean of wonder. It ends not in answers, but in mystery. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The unfinished symphony science often seeks closure. It writes equations, it builds models, it draws boundaries around the unknown. And yet, with quantum physics, every answer seems to open another door. Every solved puzzle reveals another riddle nested beneath. The smallest scales remain vast. The electron, the photon, the quark, each carries questions that ripple outward. What is wave function collapse? What truly binds entanglement? Its probability. Describe reality itself, or only our knowledge of it. The symphony is unfinished, but its music is still beautiful. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Mystery without fear. We often fear what is unknown. But here, the mystery is gentle. It is not chaos. It is not threat. It is a quiet reminder that the universe is larger than our grasp. That knowing is always partial. That life unfolds in the balance between clarity and shadow. The quantum world invites us to rest in not knowing. To let uncertainty be not a burden, but a comfort. The mystery itself is the rhythm of existence. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The small that feels infinite, though quantum physics studies the tiniest of scales. Its questions feel boundless. The more we look inward, the more the horizon expands. Atoms dissolve into particles. Particles dissolve into fields. Fields dissolve into possibilities. And still, the questions remain. The small is infinite. The detail is vast. The smallest corner of the universe contains unending wonder. To rest here is to rest in infinity itself. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. The gentle repetition throughout this journey, we have seen repetition. Electrons leaping ladders, photons whispering light, probability weaving rhythm. The quantum hum never halts, and so the mystery itself repeats. Every experiment reaffirms uncertainty. Every equation confirms incompleteness. The questions circle, as waves do, as breath does. It is not failure, but rhythm. The unknown repeats softly, without end. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. Rest and wonder at last. We see that the gift of quantum physics is not final knowledge. It is wonder. It is the chance to gaze into the smallest world and find infinity waiting. It is the reminder that science is not only answers, but questions, not only clarity, but awe. The smallest scales remain vast in mystery. They remind us that knowing is always incomplete. Yet, in this incompleteness, there is rest. There is peace. The unknown is not frightening. It holds us gently, like night itself. The night is quiet, and the silence deepens. A universe that sleeps, yet does not tend. So we return to where we began. The universe at its smallest is restless, but calm. It flickers, but patiently. It dissolves certainty, but offers rhythm. Quantum physics whispers, rest in the mystery, rest in the quiet repetition, rest in the unending wonder of the small. The universe sleeps, yet does not. It rests, yet hums. It is soft, endless, and unfinished, and in its silence we find our own.